This is my Montgomery County Fair results Flosstube part 2. This is actually the Flosstube part. For the Montgomery County Fair, there is a hand embroidery category, which is where all the cross stitch goes, and that's where most of my work is. But first I'm going to actually start with the non-cross stitch stuff. This is my my owl. It says, adorable, excellent use of color stitches for maximum effect. So cute, you should be very proud. And yet it got a second place, but that's okay. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I love this little owl. If you saw my other quilt bee fair results, this owl is actually going to be pinned on that tree that I have. I didn't notice what it was up against, but it must have been stiff competition. Now, there's another category called dolls and toys and bears. And I put the other two owls in that category. And obviously you can see they got a blue ribbon. Says here, very well construction, nice attention to detail with hand stitching. Within dolls, toys, and bears, there's an option to have 2 animals. So these are my 2 animals, and all 3 of them will hang on my tree. So it is interesting that you can get different results, because these were different judges in different categories, and these probably weren't up against anything. That's okay. You know, I'll take the blue ribbon. You know, $4 more for me to spend on other things. The next thing I'm working on for that tree is snowflakes, and I've already started those snowflakes. I forgot to bring my starts up here, but that's okay. All right, hand embroidery. The first, there's not cross stitch. So in the not cross stitch category, I stitched this owl, and the comments here were very nicely done, clean lines, even stitching, careful with finishing, backing fully. I think my back is fully finished. Maybe they didn't like it that I cut it in the shape of a hexagon instead of a circle. That's not supposed to, your backing is not supposed to count until you get to like the purple double rosette. Again, first place. Okay, so you know, friends tell you it looks great. Fair friends tell you, well, when I submitted this, I hadn't put these beads on, but you can see little dots. And of course, my fair friend went to me, you missed some spots of the stamped embroidery. And if you miss spots of the stamped embroidery, you don't get the blue ribbon. So I took it home Thursday night, unstitched the back, put the beads on, restitched the back, and then turned it back in on Friday, because you turn in dates are both Thursday and Friday. I had turned in most of my stuff on Thursday. Also in the hand embroidery, I stitched this shirt. And I'm really pleased I did this, because I got this shirt a year ago at Costco, and I said, it's a linen shirt. I've been wanting a linen shirt to stitch something on, and I didn't know what to stitch on it, but I did this. It says, excellent effort, pretty colors, watch for even color changes, similar stitches and methods and evenness. Keep going. See? Encouragement. And even encouragement on how to up my game, which is what the fair is supposed to be about. So yeah, I can see I do have some stitches here that are not quite the same length, and that would be something. And it did I used a color changing thing, which later I kind of wish I hadn't. So it did change colors in an unpredictable manner. But all in all, I will wear this. So that's the important thing. I will get to wear it. Okay, now on to the Flosstube part that most of you are into, the cross stitch part. In hand embroidery, the first cross stitch category is unframed. This is my unframed red work in embroidery. It says, careful with tension, straight lines, clean and pretty, good effort. There must have been stiff competition, because it got a 3rd place. But that's okay. I'm really pleased with, I mean, it's fine. I'm not really pleased with 3rd place. I'll assume the competition was really stiff. Okay, also in unframed was this one. It says, good tension, pleasing to look at, careful with finishing stitches at the top corner. So they didn't love the stitching on the back here. My friend is never going to look at the back. Okay, so funny story, or so I heard from my friends who, because I know the people, I'm a volunteer. I talked to all the other volunteers. They were there when it got judged. And she goes, there were two judges. The younger judge had to explain it to the older judge. If you're Catholic-ish, you'll get it. Because if you choose to live with your significant other before getting married, you're living in sin. So they got married, so they're no longer living in sin. They think it's hysterical. And that's the important thing. Okay? And of course, I chose the alphabets and the colors all on my own and what have you. And she'll be pleased that she actually gets to have it now. So again, that was a blue ribbon in the unframed category. My last unframed was jewelry, because you can do jewelry. I did these barrettes. See, it has, just like my earrings here, in case you've ever wondered, it's a cat and it's an owl and a cat. And then I switched them because I intend to turn this one into a necklace. So hopefully in the future, you'll see this right here, matching. These things are from the 80s. I got them off of eBay. It says, clean backs, nicely stitched, careful with thread stops and stops. It's a little, there's a little bit of fringe right there where I stopped and stopped. It's a little hard. It's a very little thing to stitch on. Blue ribbon, that's all good. And like I said, my friend who told me about the judging, she was like, where did you get those? Because she wants a pair too. So I'll have to look on eBay for her. Okay, next into the actual cross-stitch category is framed under 4 inches of stitched area. Or it might be under 8 inches of stitched area. I think it's under 4. Says, great theme from a former Girl Scout. For this size, for this size cloth, maybe use 3 threads. Love the frame. She's not, yeah. You can see the white coming through a little bit, so that's not so great. So, first place, all good. I have been thinking about that a lot lately. Better coverage. This next, okay, so now we've gone to the next size up of framed things. This is considered framed because it's got a hard frame on it. I entered this dragon in the fantasy category. I had a friend, she did something else. I said, put yours in pop culture, because hers could go either way. And she got a blue ribbon, because the competition for fantasy was tough. There was a mushroom that it was like full coverage and back stitching, and it was phenomenal. Says, love the back felt for framing, tough category. Love the use of metallic threads, 3rd place. Yeah, there's another reason it should have 3rd place. Somewhere in here, the stitching is not right. I think I changed from using 2 threads to 3 threads at some point in time by accident. So, it's fine. And like I said, there was a phenomenal mushroom. So, 3rd place was fine. And my tension on this frame is not what I'd like. But this is the 3rd dragon in Series 4. Hopefully, I'll get the 4th dragon done this year, and then I will have used the entire pattern set. I'll have 4 dragons on my wall. What more could you want? Same category. I think I put this in under a nature scene of some kind, because it's a tree. And it's got frog, cat, owl, bat, buttons. And it's weird. I wonder if I changed the thread, because it looks like a much better coverage up here than down below. I'm not sure what happened. Love the use of buttons. Nice covering of the oval. So she liked the fact that I wrapped ribbon around my oval. And that's actually why this one has tension problems a little bit. When I wrap the wooden frame, it can be sometimes hard to pull it, although this one it looks like I did a good job on, but I had more room here at the top. This one, because I'm a self-framer, you can see it's right on the edge there, so it was a lot to push through it. Lighten the back piece so it doesn't show through. Oh, okay, so the black must show through, and I guess as I look at the light, it does here. But because this is spooky, I'm kind of okay with that. But that is a good point to note. Yeah, because here I had a red back on a red back. And here I've got a black back on a beige, and you can see it coming through. So that's okay. She's told me how to up my game. So, you know, it's interesting. There's a 2 here, even though it got a first place. I wonder if they changed their mind or if it got the wrong ribbon. Oh well. Mistakes are made. It's okay. Okay, same category. Like I said, 4 to 12 inches. And I think this was in Halloween scenes of some kind. And this is the same one that I put in the needlework at Woodlawn. So, love the use of metallic thread. Check latch even. Love the saying. Watch something on the tension of threads. Well, you can see you're getting my actual reactions. I'm not sure what this says, but I really appreciate that they took the time to make comments. They had 200 things to evaluate in like 6 hours. They were there for a long time. 50 more entries than last year. And yes, I would have won the Busy Hands Award again, except that I was not allowed to because I'm out for 5 years. And I'm okay with that. That's actually great relief. You know, so in 2 more years, I can win the Busy Hands Award again. So 4th place, you know, it's fine. It's actually really great in a way. I know, after my earlier comments, you might think, how can you be okay with 4th place? I had this idea for something I want to do. And for it, I need yellow ribbons. In fact, I might have to ask some friends of mine on Facebook who I've seen posted who also got yellow ribbons if they will let me have some of their yellow ribbons for this idea that I have. I need some green ribbons, and green ribbons are 5th place. I know I have a few of them. I don't know if I have enough yellow and green ribbons to do the project I want to do, so I might have to ask some of my friends. And I actually heard one of my friends who does a lot of things. She made the comment that she was going to bring her ribbons in this year and slip them back in because the ribbons no longer have the year. And I really wish the blue ribbons had the year. I get it. You know, you don't know how many ribbons to print. You don't want ribbons to go to waste. I do wish the blue ribbons had the year on them, but or at least the purple ribbons. If ever I got a purple ribbon, I'll be writing that year on that one. It will be permanently attached to that, whatever piece it might be. It's a life goal, you know. Okay, now we're going to jump up from, like I said, I think this is 4 to 12 inches. So then above 12 inches is one of my witches. Okay, so like the mixed thread, watch stitch tension, cute. I must say, when you get above the size, when you get to this size, the competition gets really stiff. There's actually less competition in the under 4-inch size than there is when you get to be this big. And if you look really closely here, you'll see the year says 23. And it's only supposed to be items that you finished in the year. But as I noted on the tag for them specifically, I had to stitch 3 rows on each to finish this year. So I didn't feel like changing the date, but I had to expand the pattern by at least 3. I mean, this is an easy expansion. This is an easy expansion. But up here, I had to get it to go with the frame, I had to, sorry about the glare, it's expanded. And if you're looking for this pattern, you won't, this is an Autumn Lane pattern, has like at least 5 modifications, one being her waist because it had that stupid skinny waist. I got rid of one of the skulls. I wish I'd gotten rid of another skull. I changed the raven to an owl because y'all know I love owls. There's a bat replacement for a skull. And I think where the fire and all is, I think everything was all supposed to be that color. Just one color was this and the little touches in here. Whereas I wanted my flames to look more flamey, so I used DMC satin, so it even has a different texture. Oh, and this cat was a pile of books. So What witch doesn't have a cat? So those are all the changes that I made on this. And like I said, I've really realized that once you get to this size, the bigger than 12-inch, it's really stiff competition with some really difficult stuff. This does not have any backstitching. You really can't give first place. Anybody who has any number of backstitching wins over somebody who doesn't. It's that simple. All right, so the fair's over. What you gonna do now? Okay, well, you saw that owl from last year. I'm working on the next owl already. In fact, I probably could have almost had it done, but I used ribbon, I used beads, and I used ribbon and everything, and it's not quite, I need to figure out the ribbon, or maybe take the ribbon out altogether. I don't know, I want to use the ribbon, but something's not, so I'm still playing with it. But I added some really cool beads, so that's going to be cool. Maybe I'll just, I like the, oh, then I missed some stitches right there. So it's not done. So that'll be for next year's fair in the hand embroidery, not cross. It's hand embroidery, other techniques. There's 4 cross stitch, unframed, under 4-inch, 4 to 12-inch, over 12-inch, and then there's hand embroidery, other techniques. And this would go in other techniques because it is not cross stitch. Now, as discussed, ups coming already. You have to register by November. Well, they have to register by November. They start accepting registration in November, and they start accepting stitchery in January for the Woodlawn. And so I told my friend we were working on a project already together. She's got it mostly done. I do not. But I have gotten farther than the last time you saw this, because I worked on it a bit this week. So, gotten farther on that. And then, thank you, St. Anthony. I thought I had lost this owl cross stitch, and I was devastated to think that I had lost it. I had forgotten that I had transformed a jewelry bag. This is a jewelry bag. It works awesome. It holds the floss, and it has a big pouch area to hold the material. And so I've got one owl mostly done, and this owl, and I started working this owl. I think my original goal was an owl a month, which I'd still like to make as a goal, because if I did that, then I could have it done for next year's fair. And that would be awesome. So those are, and I haven't worked on the Blue Jay and I haven't worked on the Sprite Fairy over there. I'll get to them, I think. So that is my Montgomery County Fair wrap-up. I did 23 items.